I think Joel is, being a little bit too sensitive there. I think sometimes the way he plays can be frustrating because he tries to draw fouls a lot. He ends up on the ground a lot. He's become an expert. He's one of the most prolific scorers we've seen of this generation. I mean, the guy averages like 35 points a game. You don't do that without, putting up, some trickeration to get to the line. So I think it can be annoying to watch him play. I think if you're a Sixers fan, you can get annoyed that he's had these injuries at bad times where it's cost him in the playoffs, but I don't think that's hate. I mean, there's moments where he can be frustrating. I just, he's a guy who likes to be known as a troll. So he sort of invites that. So I'm going to kind of choose to disregard this from Joel.
Yeah, complete agreement. He's an exciting player. People like him. A lot of people like him. Like Dylan Brooks. I don't know anybody that likes Dylan Brooks, right? Even his own teammates. Embiid flops too much, right? That's a bit of a pain. And there were a couple cheap shots in the playoffs last year, so that'll get you there. But ultimately, I would much rather, as a Sixer fan, quiet everything down. Can we please quiet everything down? Yeah. Paul George is in tow. The roster has been rebuilt. Can we please just focus on anything other than all the chitter chatter and the noise and everything that this organization does every year that has nothing to do with winning on the court? Please. Like, again, what
I think he's just motivating himself. Maybe in the past with some of the cheap shots people got on him, but honestly, I think a lot of people have more sympathy for Joel Embiid because he played so hard and he was injured, right? Yeah. And he said he shouldn't have even played in the playoffs. So
that's why it's surprising that Philly allowed him to play in the
What is this?
That's what's more egregious. But after this year, I mean, it's got to be Draymond Green who took the crown. He had a rough year.
Yeah. Well, around here for Knicks fans, I can say that it's Joel Embiid. He's public enemy number one for what he did to Mitchell Robinson by pulling his ankle and getting him hurt, but also stepping on some players and some of the fouls. People don't realize that he's up there, right there with Draymond Green. May have more flagrant fouls than Draymond Green as well. But, self-pity, we don't indulge in that as athletes. So we got no love for that right here, Joel Embiid. Like, he's going to have tremendous pressure this year to see it through, see the process through. This is the best opportunity he has for that. Listen, he's one of the best players, arguably the most talented big man this game has ever seen. And they expect him to play like a big man sometimes. Sometimes he's flopping like a fish sometimes with the Ginobili stuff.
And we're used to Harden flopping, not Embiid flopping.
Wendy, answer this for me. First of all, I was surprised that he was playing on Team USA, right? Because he's not American-born to begin with.
It'll be for France.
And then to Joe's point, and like we talked about this a lot with Kawhi Leonard, why play in these Olympics based on the injury history?
Well, it's very important. Yeah, it's very important to him. First off, he would not have played in the playoffs had he not been cleared by the team's doctors. This is a extremely valuable player. He was cleared to play. This idea, should he play, should he not play? The 76ers are hugely incentivized to protect him. He was cleared to play, and he did play, and for a lot of it, he played well. And he is cleared to play now. And this is a huge moment for him. He was given French citizenship a couple of years ago with the understanding that he would play for France. You could actually make the argument that he may be under more adversity here, playing here, because the French are not happy with him because he got his American citizenship after he played, or after he got his French citizenship, and then chose America over France. He also could have played for Cameroon. Cameroon was in the qualification earlier this month. He chose the Americans. He did that for a reason. He really wants to win a gold medal for his adopted country where he's lived since he was 16. Why wouldn't you respect that? Why wouldn't you want to play? And he is cleared to play. It's one thing if he's playing through a stop sign. If he's healthy enough to play, he should play. The Sixers are part of this process, and they support it. And so that's just reality. I mean, the idea that he shouldn't play is based on the idea that, that he could get injured more. He's never going to be free from the concern about injury. That's what his life is going forward. So, look, he's actually looked really good. His last several games where the team has struggled a little bit, he's been a bright spot. And against these teams that have huge size, like Nikola Jokic, like the French, who have Victor Wembanyama and Rudy Gobert, he's going to be extremely important for the Americans. The difference between the Americans winning the gold and not could end up being Joel Embiid. This is not a luxury player. This is a necessity player. Grant Hill recruited him over the course of a year to get him to say yes. This is an extremely big big deal to get Joel Embiid to play. The reason they went out and got a naturalized player is because we as Americans don't have a lot of great centers. Look at all the great centers in the league. They're all foreign born. So Joel playing should not be considered, something to be criticized. It should be considered something to be applauded. And I'm not so sure why it defaults to the criticism. And I guess maybe that's one of the reasons why he feels that he's hated.
How much
You're
NIL
sitting
money?
next to a Philly fan.
Yeah.
Of course you're going to hear that. He doesn't care about the Olympics. He wants him ready to go. They just paid all this money to Paul George. He's concerned about the season, that they do something in the playoffs.
I don't have any time for this luxurious event that's taking place overseas. We got to get back to work. The Knicks are back. That was something that was not a luxury we had the last 10 years. The Knicks were terrible. You didn't have to worry about them. You had to worry about the Celtics and virtually no one else.
Milwaukee, Miami.
Also.
I mean, it's tough out there. Wendy, more importantly, do you have ESPN in Paris?
Of course we have technology that allows us to watch
well,
it. What kind of crazy question is that?
Well, I just want to make sure, Brian Windhorst, I don't appreciate the two. Just because you're in France now, don't act like you don't like, us over here, okay? But I just want you to be able to see the re-air of this shot because it's the greatest shot of all time. I mean, your hair is perfect. There's not one piece out of place. The sport coat's great. It doesn't get any better than that.
Don't forget the baguette.
Stop it!
We should put some ham and cheese on it.
Oh my God, I have such FOMO right now.
I wanna try to boast at what I look like. Think I'm gonna try to wear, I pull up all brains. Jimmy with the heat, I'm on fire. It's NBA over here,